all we know is we shall be like him, because we shall see him as he really is. The words of St. John in today's second reading. All we know is that we shall be like him, and we shall see him as he really is. St. John's writings, the Gospel and his writings, are meditations, reflections, and visions. John is writing this after the resurrection of Jesus towards the end of his life, and John is looking back at the whole mystery of Christ, his life, his death, and the resurrection. We have seen him, we have touched him, we have experienced him, so I can tell you who Jesus is, what life is all about. John looks back. In the beginning was the Word, and from him, from that Word, everything came to be. And John has the realization God is love. From that love, everything came to be. Note the first line in today's second reading. Think of the love the Father has lavished on us. Think of the love the Father has lavished on us, showered on us. You remember the readings on Sunday and the reflection on Sunday. God has loved us into existence. Not that word. God has loved us into being. In other words, we are not accidents of time and history. Every one of us is God's choice. As the reading on Sunday, the first reading we had from Wisdom, if God did not like you, he wouldn't have made you. If God did not like you or loved you, he wouldn't have made you. He wouldn't bother about you. Because he loved you, he loved you into being. Oh, this is what this is what my son, my daughter to be. So he made you and me the way you are. From his wisdom, from his plan, and from his purpose. So we should not think of life in terms of how long we live or what is our vocation. No, those things are secondary. The thing we have to remember is the primacy of God's grace, and we are born here on this earth from the love of God, and we are very precious to him. Whether we live one day on this earth or 100 years on this earth doesn't matter. Whether you live one day, just one day, or 1 second on this earth, or 100 years, doesn't matter. We think in terms of how long you live, whether you are, so and so died at the age of just 1 year, or 10 years, 20 years, 30, 80, 100, or 120, doesn't matter. What matters is how beautifully, how meaningfully you live this life. Realizing I am here in the plan of God, in the wisdom of God. I'm a child of God, and God has lavished his love on me. Today and tomorrow, the whole month of November, we reflect on the meaning of life, the meaning of our existence on this earth, why we are here, what we are here for, what is the purpose of this life. The scriptures all the way remind us that we are pilgrims on a journey. Our restlessness, our unhappiness, our sorrows, our troubles are reminders that you are not at home. Think of what John says, what Jesus said during the Last Supper. My Father's house. I am going back to my Father's house. Your Father's house. My Father's house. And I will come back and take you home when it is your time. I will come and take you home when it is your time. There is a time for everyone. A time for everyone. But the truth is, whatever be that time, we are carried every moment in the tender hands of a loving God. Remember that word again, my Father's house. Until I am at home with my Father, I will be restless. My heart will be fully fulfilled and happy only when I am in my Father's house. All your loved ones who are no more, all our loved ones who are no more with us, who have gone home to the Lord, think about that. We are in our Father's house. In my Father's house, your Father's house. And they're at home with God. They're at home with God. Even though you may mourn and feel grieve their loss, time may not take away as long as we live on this earth. Time may not take away, but remember this, they are in our Father's house, enjoying the fullness of God's peace and joy. To close, you and me, we are loved. We are loved by a God whose love we cannot really understand. A love of God we can't really understand. All we know is that His love will take us home. His mercy, His compassion is infinite. And in His tender hands, He will take us home, and we are going to meet our loved ones again, and enjoy their friendship again. And with all the saints in heaven, we will be in our Father's house. God bless you.